Я очень давно мечтал сказать такую фразу. Привет, лужники!
Hi everyone, I've been dreaming of saying hi Luzhniki and thank you so much. We'll be talking about SCAMs, SBOMs, how to build them, how to analyze them, because that's really important. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andrey Matveenko. I work for MTS Red. I'm a security analyst. Not only do we build SBOMs, we also do SCAs and so on and so forth. This is it. We're really short of time, so I'll be really fast. What is a SBOM? And SBOM is a software bill of materials that we use in our apps. That it doesn't really matter what it is. It could be a system, a cluster, or in our case, it's an application. In the various programming languages, we don't care about that. So in a nutshell, this is it. So what are we going to use? We're going to use the second X because it's scaled up information. So even if we take something standard, we have at least 10 bullets why the second X is better than SPDX, and I'm going to give you more details on that because, like I said, we don't have much time. The dependency track only works with second X formats unless we try to extend it, and it analyzes the metrics and inserts its own metrics. And we can download the second X with vulnerabilities, which is good. We like it, and these are the main capabilities of the dependency track, but I don't think you need to know that. What are we going to deep dive into? Well, I guess these are the simplest programming languages, such as Python, Java, .NET, Go, and JavaScript, PHP, C++, and the rest you will find on GitHub. I'll update my presentation, and you will be able to copy and paste all the code lines, and it will work fine. You won't have to analyze all of that or research it from the scratch. Let's start with Python. What is the problem around Python? It has standard packets in the SBOMs, and the lack of transitive dependencies is another problem. So it's a dependency on a dependency following the tree. But we have a great solution, which is second X Pi or pipdeep3. Much depends on what you wanna build. So you can do pipd3 and it will find a more transient dependency as opposed to standard dependency. Then plus subtraction of standard packets such as pip tools, whatever. So it's a language packet which is installed everywhere and
виртуальной рабочей среде. Из такого здесь очень быстро все. Java.
As for Java is a very interesting language, and
отдельная штука.
Kotlin and Gradle are complicated, very difficult to do. And as for Maiden, you just use a standalone plugin. And that rules out the dependencies that we don't need. Java might be problematic. However, there is a great feature inherent in Java. It can identify deep transit dependencies down to level 5 or 6. It helped us in a real project, and we identified the log4shell dependency.
.NET.
As for .NET, another interesting language, if you have never worked with it, when an AppSec engineer comes to a .NET company, he's dumbfounded because one of the problems is how all of this should work. So as far as SBOM is concerned, you Google it. SBOM tool is a great tool. It's not. It's terrible, and it's terrible for many reasons. First and foremost, if you use a Mac laptop, you won't be able to run tests because you have problems with .NET, and This is terrible because you will have to go through at least 10 Docker images, and if you have an in-house Nexus repository, it's another headache because you will have to download everything into that repository. The SBOM tool from Microsoft is too huge, is too heavy. So size matters. If your company is huge and if all the processes have already been installed, that's great. However, the packet is over 1.5 gigabytes, and that poses a problem. However, there is a great Cyclone DX module. It's lightweight. The only problem is that it requires .NET, so it will be about 6 megabytes, and for large companies, that's important. And it's fast. It does recursive analysis. It can scan the subfolders and analyze everything in sequence. As for the Go, that's a great language. They have Go modes. You can analyze the binary packets, and there are lots of things that you can use. You can develop your own app for the Go language, which is highly scalable. However, we want to make it simple and easy, and Cyclone DX Go mode is the right way to go. So it has an application function, which means that you can download the app from the get-go, and the mode gives you a list. You can use the binary function. So all of these functions are inherent, and in the Go mode, there is a disadvantage. These are transient dependencies. We need to populate the list of transient dependencies and tell the customer we have 100,000 criticals, and they're all in the list of transient dependencies. We cannot correct all of them. As for the JavaScript, it's a great programming language, but if your developers did not develop the JLog file, you won't be able to do anything. Either you have to do it on your own, or just start looking for another job. We use Cyclone DX NPM. It's a simple tool. I'm not going to go into the frameworks and the details. Take a look at the details on GitHub. I was told to stick to the time slot allocated to me, so we're really short of time. I'm going to move on. What about the other languages, for instance, C++? The main challenge with C++ is that we don't have anything. We have a binary and an open source. Conan is a great thing, but not all the developers can do everything in the Conan.
Очень интересная возможность с помощью докер-контейнеров.
We can do Docker containers to transit all these dependencies. GitHub will give you more details. I still have much time, so let me go into this particular part. We have a Docker container with a special tool. If we can control the compilator, then we can control the entire build, which means that we can include all the dependencies we can possibly find. And C++ has great tools to this effect. You can download it from the GitHub. You can fine-tune them, and the Docker container will
Это очень интересно, очень
collect the dependencies for you. This option has just been researched. The hyperlinks for GitHub will be given in the last slide. By the way, that's the Telegram channel QR code and the GitHub QR code. You will not find anything there for the time being, but I will populate it very soon. As for Python, what's wrong with Python? Python is pin and poetry. And there are challenges with pips. Poetry is a simple way to collect all the transient dependencies because it does not provide, well, actually there is a separate file, you can scan it, and everything is fine. However, the different versions pose a problem. Most of the Python components are either equal or over the existing version. You can control it. However, if the developer states that if this is 0.1 version plus, then you have to trigger it. In poetry, there is a trigger function similar to the cyclone xpi, and you can analyze all of that separately. In addition to that, if you take all these SBOMs, then you will run with problems as far as licenses are concerned. We need licenses for commercial products. Therefore, we develop licenses and products. Let's say you have the BPL3 license. You have to provide the open source, and we don't want it.
Переходим куда-то дальше. Вернемся на слайд с...
Let me go back to the slide with Cyclone DX, so that
есть. Что у нас есть? Получение...
we can deep dive into that. Getting SBOMs, how do we do that? You can develop them manually, and this is important if you develop your own tools, because dependencies should be part of a tree, and they should be visible there. And it's a huge problem to upload all of that there. And rules is another headache. It's a very to put it simply, it's just a hyperlink to your object, which has been properly set. And MTN packets have long names. They have hash sums.
255 символов. Может быть, в новых версиях это уже ограничение ушло.
This limitation is non-existent. The new version by the dependency track ran into various problems, and we had to come up with short rules.
Это тоже очень важно, это очень тоже интересно. Но давайте дальше. Анализ бомов. Анализ бомов проходит максимально...
This BOM analysis is parsed and by downloading feeds from, for most of the state companies, it's a problem, because if we're talking about Rostelecom data centers who prohibit that, they have their own feeds, and we have to download them from a different source. So we have feeds, we analyze them, that's fine. Continuous monitoring is another important thing, an interesting thing. Just like everything else in this presentation, because only 34 OPSECs in a company can actually work with these bombs. If we have many projects, then it becomes more complicated. If there are 10 of them, that's great. But what about 100 projects? So we are a large company, we don't know what to do. You identify a dependency track, and you identify a problem. The main problem is that you use SBOMs.
Продукта, библиотека уязвима.
The library is vulnerable, critical RC is vulnerable, everything is bad, your company is under attack, and we tell the developers that you have to shut down all the apps, and you'll be fine. Emergency response is something that I want to deep dive into.
Dependency track можно прикрутить к чему угодно. Мы можем получить...
Dependency track can be linked to anything. You can get notifications wherever you like by email.
Не знаю, можете себе в Инстаграме прикрутить, и когда будете смотреть рилсы...
When you watch reels, you might also get notifications about the vulnerabilities of your library, and you won't be able to do anything.
Все остальное вы сможете найти на GitHub.
Go to GitHub by scanning this QR code. You will be able to discuss bombs with me, and pull requests are also on GitHub. I know that bombs is a very niche topic for every expert. I don't want to curse, but you know, people do whatever they want as far as bombs are concerned. You build them this way, we build them this way.
На который вы сможете загрузить то, как вы это делаете. Мы сможем собрать общую базу данных, как это правильно делать, чтобы сделать ваши продукты безопаснее.
We want to make our products safer and more secure, so that brings me to the end of my presentation. This is my Telegram channel, my contact information, Hubber articles that I publish. People there don't really understand what I write, and this is the chat that I frequent most of the time.
Спасибо всем за то, что послушали.
Thank you for your attention.